If you feel like you're always just one more thought away from moving, this is for you. Because the trap for founders is not laziness, it's pressure. You're carrying a lot: business decisions, team decisions, money decisions. And then you go home and you're also carrying around relational decisions as well. So your brain does what it is trained to do. It tries to think its way into peace. Now, check this out. Peace is not a reward for perfect execution. Peace is the foundation that creates clean execution. So bookmark this for yourself. Peace is not the prize. Peace is the starting line. And in this video, I'm going to show you how you can rebuild decisiveness and agency by shifting one thing: identity first. Not about hype, not about hacks, a simple framework you can use this week today. So stick with me, because there is one question in the middle of this conversation that is going to expose exactly why you keep on looping. Now, most founders lose decisiveness in a very predictable way. It starts with a good desire. You want to do the right thing. You want the decisions to be wise. You want to avoid making the mistake. So what do? You gather info. Then you gather more info. Then you add another option. Then you wait for clarity. And the longer you wait, the louder the internal pressure gets. And here's the mistake most founders make at this point. They think more thinking equals more clarity. They stay aiming, 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 aiming. But pressure creates the exact opposite of clarity. Let me make this practical for you. You start a project at 100%. You hit friction at 30%. You lose clarity. Overwhelm shows up. Then you do the modern escape: distraction. A few minutes on your phone, turn into a few videos. Next thing you know, your energy is depleted and you have a bunch of tabs opened up. Maybe you even had a few conversations that feel productive, but ultimately didn't really move anything forward. The distraction, however, is not the main problem. Distraction is the symptom. If this is you, listen closely. If you're always distracted, it is usually because you do not trust your next decision. So you keep moving, but you do not move forward. And that's the loop: pressure, overthinking, distraction, guilt, more pressure. You see the loop? And if you're a faith-driven individual, you might even add some spiritual language to it. Like, I'm waiting for clarity, or I'm waiting for peace, or I'm waiting for the right timing. But a lot of that is just fear wearing a good suit. So here's the line you need to hear. If you need results to feel grounded, you will always be shaky. Because if your peace depends on your outcomes, you will never have enough outcomes. So what do? Here's a reframe. Most people live like this: we do more, so we have more. Eventually, we'll be. I will grind, I will work, I will achieve, I will collect the win. Then I will finally be peaceful. Then when I get there, I will finally feel stable. Then I will finally feel like myself. But does that ever work? Because you can always do more, you can always have more. And if your identity is not anchored, the wins do not land. So we flip this. We need to become. When we step into identity, it opens up access to new actions, which eventually we will have new results. Be, do, have. This is not motivational. This is mechanical. Your identity drives your actions. Your actions drive your outcomes. So if we want decisiveness, we do not start with the tactics. We start with identity. Say this with me. Agency is the fruit of identity. Agency is the fruit of identity. When you know who you are, you stop begging the world for permission. And if you're a faith-driven individual, there is always a simple principle that matters most. Renewing your mind is not a vibe. This is practice. This is not performative. This is not preachy, just realignment. So quick recap before we move on. The loop is pressure and overthinking. The reframe is identity first. Now that we got that in place, let's take a look at the framework. Simple 4-step framework that you can implement immediately. And I want you to start to apply this with just one decision that you've been avoiding. Not 10 decisions, just one. So let's begin. Step 1, name the identity you are trying to buy with the outcomes. Ask yourself, what am I trying to feel by achieving this? Is it peace? Is it freedom? Is it safety? Is it worth? See, most founders, they don't realize this, but they're building the business to purchase a feeling. And the moment you see it, you get your agency back. Because now you can stop chasing the feeling through outcomes and you can start generating it through identity. But here's again, the mistake that most founders make. You do not need more output to become grounded. You need a clearer identity to make a cleaner decision. Here's step number 2. Define being in real words, not abstract words. A lot of people say, I want peace, but peace is not a personality trait. Peace is a result of something. So to find a way of being underneath it, what gives access to the peace? Peace might come from trust. Freedom might come from clear boundaries. Confidence might come from integrity. So ask this, what way of being generates the result that I want? And this is really critical. If your identity language is vague, your decisions will also be vague. If you are unclear on who you are, you will be unclear on what you do next. Step 3, install identity alarms. This sounds really simple because it is. Set alarms on your phone, 2 to 6 a day. When it goes off, ask one question. How am I being right now? Not what am I doing? How am I being? Because most of us are totally unconscious. We wake up and momentum decides our personality. The alarm interrupts autopilot. And when you catch yourself off course, you do not shame yourself, you simply realign. And that's agency. So here's the key. This is not about being perfect. This is about being aware, because then we step into step number 4, deciding from this place of identity, not from an emotional space. And this is the leadership move. When you are stressed, your decisions become reactive. When you're grounded, your decisions become clean. So ask this, if I was the person I say I am, what would I do next? Not next month, next, right now. Here's the one-liner that really ends this loop. You do not need perfect clarity. You need one clean decision. If you only take one thing from this video, take that. Now we apply it. So let's take a look first, business. Then we'll take a look at marriage. In business, clarity and offer. So a founder says, my offer is not clear. Most people think an offer is the package, the deliverables, the calls, the modules. But a strong offer is not just what you sell. It's who it is for, where they're at in their journey, and the identity outcome that they're looking for. So instead of obsessing over features, ask, who is this for? What stage are they in right now? Who do they become on the other side of the problem? And this is what simplifies your message. That is what sharpens your content. And that is what makes decisions easier, because clarity collapses options. And this is where the loop starts, when there's too many options. If you have 10 offers, you usually have no clarity. If you have one clear person, you get one clear message. Now, personal side, marriage. Presence over fixing. A lot of people try to fix their partner. Does it ever work? Has it ever worked on you? Because fixing implies something is broken. So what's the alternative? Presence, stability, acceptance, clear communication. If your partner is stressed, the question is not, how do I fix this? This is challenging for us as men. The question is, who do I need to be to create safety here? This matters because your emotional posture is contagious. When you're shaking, the environment shakes. When you're steady, the environment steadies. Not because you control anyone, because leadership is influence. And here's a truth you may not know yet. Influence starts with your posture, not a position. So this one simple line will change your relationships. Stop trying to create peace by controlling outcomes. Create peace by becoming grounded, present. So now let's move into practices. These are simple, these are doable, these are repeatable, these are not complicated. Again, clarity opens up action. Here's a daily practice. Simple 60-second identity reset. Once a day, you ask, what am I carrying that is not mine to carry? What am I trying to control that I cannot control? What is one decision I'm avoiding? Then take one clean action, just one. And this is how agency is rebuilt over time. One clean step, one step at a time. Number 2, practice number 2, producer over consumer. Now, if you're on social media like most of us are, the answer is not quit forever. That's running from the problem. It's again, bringing in a new identity. So what do? You decide on who you are on the platform. Are you going to be a producer or a consumer? Aim for a simple shift, 60% producer, 40% consumer. And when you do consume, do it intentionally. You're training your algorithm towards your mission, because the game now is not only attention, it's interest. Interest is what the algorithm rewards. So Make sure that the algorithm's showing you what you're interested in. And if you're in business, be interested in your people. Learn what they care about, what they fear, what keeps them up at night. Then create content from that. If you only take one thing, take this. If you want to be interesting, start by being interested. Now let's take a look at a weekly practice so you can actually look at a big picture. Block outcome focused time. Block specific time for a specific outcome. No work on content, just outcome. Example, record one video that speaks to one person at one stage. If you go into the woods without a map, you walk in circles. A calendar without outcomes creates busy work. Just a quick recap before we finish. Identity first. Alarm for an awareness. Take one clean action. Outcome focused time. From here, I'm going to invite you with a very direct invitation. If you feel stuck, it's not because you're incapable. It's because your identity is competing with your pressure. You rebuild decisiveness by doing four things. One, you name the identity you've been trying to buy with outcomes. Two, we define the way of being that generates the peace or the end outcome that you're looking for. Three, you install identity alarms to break the autopilot, bring back the awareness. Four, decide from identity, not from emotion. A simple process is how you stop striving and start executing with peace. So let me make this painfully practical. The decision you avoid today becomes the pressure you carry tomorrow. So make one clean decision today. And if you want deeper teachings and worksheets that can help you implement this, go join the school community at the link below. That is where we turn this into weekly practices that you can actually live out. Before you go, drop a comment with something like this. What decision have you been avoiding and what identity are you choosing this week? See you in the next video.